Howdy Sketchies, it's Megan of Hello North, and today is another Inktober video, and it is Scylla from Greek mythology. I had already done my sketch work just because this sketch turned out to be very complex, and now I'm just going back in with my first layer of ink to really build up the shadows because I really wanted to put a lot of depth into this piece specifically. So first off, I really wanted to update you guys. My last Inktober video, I had mentioned something about possibly doing a print book with all of my Inktober ghosts and ghouls in it, and I am very excited to say that I am taking the steps on looking into self-publishing and actually getting it printed. But like I said, it's the first steps. I really want to make sure that all of my illustrations are done before I do anything like Kickstarter or start raising funds to do that, just because that I know a lot of projects, Murphy Law happens and something comes along and you don't get to finish it, and I would hate to be that kind of person that does a Kickstarter halfway through actually completing the project and then not actually completing it. So I'm hoping that maybe in the beginning of November I'll be able to do a Kickstarter for printing this print book, but until then, right now I'm just kind of shopping around for prices. Keep a lookout on that. I really would love to get this printed and ready for my store and shipping out by the beginning of December, just because I want to make sure that if somebody would love this for Christmas, it would be available. Going to what I am doing Scylla, which is a creature from, I don't want to say Greek mythology, because her first appearance was in Homer's Odyssey, and it was a part where Odysseus and his crew was trying to get home, and they had to sail through a narrow strait of the ocean, and supposedly there were a pair of twins. Now some stories say twins, some say just a brother and sister, that one was a giant whirlpool of horrendous teeth, and the other creature was this beautiful yet horrifying creature. And the lore behind Scylla was a little bit more tragic to me than a whirlpool, so I went with her instead. And it was just so interesting kind of getting more of the background, just because I did read the Odyssey, so I was very familiar with the story, but not specifically this creature. So her backstory is that she was a beautiful water nymph who was beloved by a lot of gods and demigods, and this made the witch Circe just so jealous of her beauty and the fact that she was beloved by many men. So one day when Scylla was in the water bathing, Circe poured some potion into the water, changing her into a half sea dragon with wolf heads on her and just huge and hideous. And she became very hateful of the men who would see her and cry out in fear. So a lot of images I noticed portrayed her more of like a colossal squid with the wolf heads on each tentacle, but I kind of went a little bit further back, more towards the ancient pottery that portrayed her, and so that's the version that I went with. And that version was that she had almost like a mermaid type tail that was more dragon like, with the wolf heads around her midsection. I really like how the design came out, and it made me have to draw wolf heads, and I'm not really good at drawing those. But I think they turned out okay, and I really, really loved drawing her hair, which is definitely different than what I'm used to. So if you like her, give her a thumbs up, share with your friends, and if you haven't already and become a sketchy, hit that subscribe button and join the family. Until then, keep on sketching, guys.